Ako si Raul Mabanag, taga Makati. I started in the life insurance business in 1986. My first job was with a stock investment house in Manila as an investment analyst. I only spent 1 year, and then I moved to selling of roofing materials. After 5 years, I was invited to Instar Life. I learned that to succeed in this job, I had to be better every time, to learn more about what I do. And this is actually what I really like about my job today. I get to discover better versions of myself each time. I found that question very interesting. You see, in 2009, I invested on a product that paid me 7% for the next 7 years and gave my money back in the end. In the next 7 years, I started getting the interest that was promised by the product. And so every time I got the check, I put it in my bank account and eventually just got spent. And I realized that wasn't good for me. That's when I understood, because I did not lock into my goal. I did not match what I was doing towards the things I wanted to see in my life. In answer to the question, what investment opportunities should I look out for? Well, the opportunity I try to take advantage of is the time I have, so that I can get the power of compounding on my side. Now let me go back to my story. What if I didn't invest that in that product and merely put it in a pooled fund investment? Do you know what I discovered? That investment in 10 years would have grown by 400%. And that would be more closer to the money I would need should I retire. What I'd like you to focus on is your goals and take advantage of the time you have. Of course, when you finally choose an investment, you must tailor that to the kind of risk you're willing to take. Which brings me, at the very least, you need to invest in 2 asset classes. Stock funds, and there will be bond funds. You see, please understand this. What is good for me may not be good for you. In my case, what I normally recommend is to be positioned in both. Why? Because that way I'm trying to minimize the risk. Of course, the percentages will vary depending on what your risk appetite is and the time you have. Now, that's one way of minimizing your diversification. Now, there are many ways of doing that. I've mentioned 2 asset class. You can also diversify by going into geographical investments. Now, if you have an equity fund in any of the pooled products available in the market, that will be invested solely in the Philippine stock market. You may want to consider getting invested in other parts of the globe. That way, again, you're trying to minimize the risk that you have. I kind of look at investing in a very basic and fundamental way. Why am I trying to grow my money? Because I want to see something happen in my future. What about market cycles? Well, here's my take on it. I really can't predict where the market is going. So the next best thing I can do is to get regularly invested. So I may be buying at a high price. The next time I'm going to be buying at a lower price. So over a period of time, I'm buying at different prices. When I'm doing that, I'm kind of averaging the price I'm buying at. So long as that average price, over time, the market will most likely be above that market price. If I'm doing it regularly, the general rule is buy high and sell low. Well, that is if you were trading. I'm not trading. I'm trying to grow money towards the goal I want to see that I have in my life. Like in my case, it's retirement. When you invest, you necessarily lock into your goal. That way, you don't get misled by what comes along the way. Instead of timing the market, take advantage of the time you have. That's the real opportunity.